Hailing from Columbus, Ohio, Malaki Branham is a 6'5" guard weighing 195 pounds with a 6'10" wingspan who played his college ball at Ohio State. Let's start with his mid-range game, because he's kind of a sniper from there. He rises up and shoots these really nicely and smoothly. Yeah, he gets into one off the pick and roll, which is great to see. Here's another one, and this is going to be a great way he can make hay early on in his career. You always love seeing guys snap these shots off like this. He'll also hit them off of off-ball movement. We'll get to his 3-point shooting threat after this, but he uses that threat to attack closeouts and hit these middies in the space created. From my point of view, the jumper is there. He shot it great at the college level, and that combined with a good free throw percentage and a good looking jumper leads me to believe it will translate to the NBA. He's great at hitting these off the catch after movement, and that gives him that combo guard potential. I think the jumper will be the primary thing that allows him to get on the court early, and it definitely raises his floor as a prospect for me. He also hit them coming out of the pick and roll, which is really tasty to see. He doesn't create much separation, but is crafty and has just enough burst and steal to still get his shots off. Here you can see how he struggles to create separation, but then still manages to bite the contact and get this nice float off. Here's a similar one, but this time he uses a running hook shot to get the bucket anyway. More often than not, he bullies rather than bursts his way to the basket. Here he uses a little hezzy to create some separation, and then bundles himself up and finds his way to the basket, and that's a nice reverse finish. There are moments where he will beat guys with a dribble, but it's just not enough of the time. He will also take advantage when bigger guys are switched onto him though. He shows good patience as a ball handler, and does a good job of waiting for his opportunities to attack and penetrate. Here he gets a nice bucket out of the pick and roll, and as you're probably seeing, I'm reasonably high in his ability to operate them at the next level. He gets out in transition here, but doesn't rush it and gets the bucket in the end. I really like him attacking strained defenses. He's a developing passer and playmaker. Here's a nice pass in the pick and roll too. Although he does lack a lot of precision on his passes at times, which needs to be cleaned up. His awareness will also need some work. Defensively, he's really good at getting around screens. This is why I love him as an off-ball defender in the NBA, with all those screens defenders are asked to run through and the amount of pick and rolls teams run. Brings good energy and really makes himself skinny to get around some of these. His on-ball potential is definitely lower though. His decision making and awareness still needs some work too. He'll often get burned by overcommitting on defense as well. Branham scored a very solid 28 points in a largely supportive role for Ohio State. His almost 60% true shooting percentage is outstanding, and there's not really one shooting aspect that you can point to as the main contributor to that. His shooting numbers are really good across the board, which gets me really excited. His assist numbers are also fairly decent and a little higher than I expected actually. His turnovers aren't too bad either. His steal plus block numbers are alright and are on average for this class. Branham's one of my favorite players to watch in this class. He simply is a shot maker. He hits shots from all over the place. He was able to generate offense for himself and score opportunities created for him. I struggle to see him as a team's primary ball handler, but he can definitely take on some of that responsibility. His passing will need some work, but there is at least a foundation to work off of. His shooting should allow him to get minutes even if the other things don't come around immediately. A realistic floor for him would be a bench guard who provides scoring and shooting to second units. A realistic ceiling for him would be a tertiary offensive option on a really good team while providing elite off-ball shooting and solid off-ball defense.